So I hope the roadmap of the course is clear to you guys, right? Like what we are supposed to do in SAP HANA. Okay, as I have told you that there are three aspects that we need to focus on. Okay, the first thing is with respect to your the data replication part or the data provisioning part. Okay, the second thing is with respect to your the data modeling, what we need to do in SAP HANA Studio. Okay, and the third thing is that how the reporting has to be carried out with respect to business objects. So the reporting, the modeling, along with your data replication and provisioning, these are the three things which we are going to focus on right now at this point of time. Okay, for this particular purpose, let me do one thing. I'm going to set up an integration component that is going to talk with all the three things here. So please see the demo how I'm going to do, and based on that one we'll come across and then start seeing the other things here. Okay, the first thing, what I'm going to do here is see here. First thing is BODS. It is an ETL tool. BODS is an ETL tool. Okay. For the purpose of storing all the ETL applications that you create in BODS, okay, for the purpose of storing all the ETL applications that you create in BODS, BODS maintains a centralized database. Okay, the database is what is called as a repository. The database is what is called as a repository here. Okay, so this is the repository what we are going to create right now first. Okay, so business objects data services supports three types of repositories. First one is nothing but a local repository. The second thing is nothing but a central repository. And the third type of repository what you are having here is nothing but the profiler repository. Profiler repository. So basically it is nothing but a database, okay, that holds all the ETL jobs what you develop, okay, for the purpose of scheduling them, their logs information, okay, their status of your execution information is going to be completely stored within this particular repository here basically. That is the thing what we are going to do. Okay, see here. I'm going to the SQL Server basically right now. Please follow carefully the steps what I'm doing here. I'm going to the SQL Server Management Studio. And click on this connect button here. Go on to this particular database. Okay, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select this one, right click, and then I'm trying to create a new blank database. I'm going to create here. New blank database. The blank database's name is going to be your HANA. The new blank database is going to be your HANA integration. Integration, and then what would do that? You click on OK. This is the blank database that is created here. How can you say this is the blank database? There are no tables that are existing here, which is a blank database. So Bhaskar, you are clear, right? How we have created this blank database here?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. Once this is done, the next step what I'm going to do here is I go on to this start, I connect to this particular programs, and within these programs, what I do is that I go on to this business objects data services, and here you're having something as a repository manager. Okay, the repository manager is the place where your repository is expected to be created, where your repository is supposed to be created, and whatever all the tables that you are going to create is going to be existing in your HANA integration here. Right now it is blank. Select this one. Business objects data services repository manager here. The type of repository what you are going to have is nothing but the local repository here. The database type is something like Microsoft SQL Server. The database server name is server. Okay, the database name is HANA underscore integration. HANA underscore integration. Okay. HANA user 9. Okay. And the password is going to be see, when you try to click on this get version, it says that the database exists but the repository tables are not valid, it gives. Repository tables are not valid, it gives. So that means that this is a blank database. Now within this blank database, what I want to do is that I want to start creating a repository. Okay. For the purpose of creating this particular repository, what you do is that you click on this particular create button here. It executes these particular tables. It executes these particular tables, okay, and make sure that the database is getting created here. It takes time, 1 minute. It is adding all these things, and then you are seeing that the local repository is successfully created. Have you seen this one or not? This is done, right? Vijay and Elva and Anand, you have seen how this particular repository has been created, right?
Yes.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, once you see this one, you please go here and then check here. You'll be able to see a lot of tables that are existing here. Just keep on refreshing this particular database.
This is one-time setup only, right? We don't have.
And this is one-time setup we need to do.
And we don't have. Actually, you're creating a local repository and.
Local repo. See, you don't think that when you
and we don't have to create that. No.
Elva, your voice is breaking. What I'm saying here is this local repository has to be created by the developers only. Okay. And when I mean to say this is local, please don't think it is local only. Okay. It is something which has to be done within the live production server or live development server of your SAP HANA integration landscape. This has to be created. As long as this is not existing, what will not happen is that your BODS will not work. Okay. As long as this is not existing, what will not work is that your HANA replication to your other databases does not work even with respect to this ECC. So this has to be created, and when you are trying to create this one, please make sure that you are trying to create only once within the entire lifetime. Bhaskar, is it clear to you now?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Once this is done, what you do is that you go on to these programs, business objects data services, and then you are having this particular server manager that exists. Please select this server manager here. Continue. So I want to create a job server in BODS, okay, which is responsible for the purpose of using this particular repository. What I'm trying to do is that to the server of business objects data services, I'm trying to associate this particular repository here. I'm trying to associate this particular repository, which is something like your HANA integration. I'm going to associate. Okay, for this particular purpose, I click on this particular configuration editor. I'll click on this particular configuration editor and click on this add button here. Add button here. So it will be asking you the new server name, what you want to create. This is nothing but your HANA underscore integration. Once it is specified, I want to add this particular repository. What is the repository that I want to add? What is the repository that you have created in this Microsoft SQL Server? The same repository I want to add here. So please click on this add button. Database server name is server. What is the database name? HANA underscore integration. What is the user ID and password? This is 9, and then HANA 123, and then click on apply. So this is done. Once this is done, what you do is that you click on OK. Okay, port number you please change it to some other port number, that is 6756. This is done. Once it is done, what you do is that you click on OK like this. This your HANA integration is added here. Once this HANA integration is added, the moment once you close this job server, and then what happens is that this window is supposed to be successfully closed. When I click on this particular close and restart, what happens is that your services will be closed and then they will be restarted once again. So select this. This will restart the data service on this particular machine. Click on OK. It takes some time, and then in case if it is successful, what happens is that you have registered your repository to your job server of data services. Is this point clear to you? This is the second step. First step is that we have created a blank database. The second step, what you have done is that we have created that repository with the help of that particular blank database. And third step, what you have done is we have registered your repository to the job server of your business objects. Is these 3 points clear to you now, Bhaskar?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay, how about you, Anand and Elva?
The three things of how to do we could understand, but the third thing
what we are making here in repository, we are saying activating the repository, right? In that, what is the reason we are doing and where we are doing? It will be lying in that server instance what we have created database.
Ella, this is only the first class what we are seeing here. Okay. The moment once you start progressing step by step, minute by minute, you will be able to understand the rationalize behind those particular creations and all you'll be seeing here. Okay. The right now what we are doing is that we are trying to set up the base platform. Okay. This is the base platform on top of which you'll be doing every activity in HANA BODS along with business objects. That is the thing what we are doing here basically. Okay.
Okay.
See, I have told you the purpose of the repository. What is the purpose of the repository? The purpose of the repository is to store all the ETL applications that you create in BODs. Okay, what are those ETL applications? Those ETL applications are the jobs that we use for the purpose of physically transferring the data from the sources to the targets. So that particular part we are seeing here, right? Basically, that is the place where you have created the repository. The second step is that how can this particular repository can be identified by business objects, the data services. It will be able to identify in case if we register this particular repository to the job server, which is nothing but the server component of your business objects. Through the tool only, it will be able to identify. That particular part also we have done. These are the two things what we have done so far, Elva. Hope it is clear to you, right? Hello? Guys, if you think that you are not able to speak up, at least type in the chat window. That would be helpful to us, right?
Yeah, okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start one more server. What is that server? Is nothing but that server is nothing but your SAP Business Objects CMC. I'm going to start. CMC stands for Central Management Console. Central Management Console, which is the administrative tool of business objects. Okay, for the purpose of registering your repository to BODs. For the purpose of registering your repository to BODs. So that is the part what we are going to see right now. We start here, we go to the programs, and then we have this BA platform client tools, and within this one you have something like CMC that exists. CMC is somewhere specified here, which is nothing but your central management console. Please open this one. Okay, once you open this particular central management console, what you do is that you click on this login button. Are you seeing this particular data services here or not, Bhaskar?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
This is the place where we need to do the integration. Whatever the repository what you have created, that has to be registered within the data services which is there in business objects, right? So what I do is that I select this particular data services here. Once you select this particular data services, you select this one and then you specify manage or configure repository. You select configure repository. What is the name of the repository here? Ella, what is the name of the repository we have used here? Can you please tell me?
HANA integration?
Yeah. HANA underscore integration.
Yeah, true. HANA underscore integration. HANA underscore integration. What is the database type? The database type is SQL Server. Okay. What is the database server name? The database server name is server we have done here. Server. What is the database name? HANA underscore integration.
HANA underscore integration.
I need to specify username and password. The username is
Ana username.
Each one of us are given a different user ID for us, right? To create.
obviously you
our
should be
own.
given a different user ID. Yes, yes. We should be given a different user ID.
Okay.
Password is it is done. You please test this connection whether it is successfully connected or not. Successfully connected to the repository. Once it is successfully connected to the repository, what you do is that you click on this particular save. Once you click on this particular save, what is happening is that okay, the moment once you refresh this one, and when you select this particular data services, is not that your HANA integration is totally added here or not, Vijay?
Yes, Ravi. It's added.
HANA underscore integration is added here and which is running in this particular server here. Okay. Once this is added, then you start your designer of your business objects data services. You go to this particular programs. Okay. Within this programs, you go on to this particular business object services 4.1, and within this one you select this particular data services designer. Okay. Select this particular designer here. What is the server? The server is nothing but your server colon 6400. The username is 9. Password is 1, 2, 3. Click on this. Is it not your HANA integration has come now?
Yes.
See, if you do all these things, then only this particular HANA integration will come here. If you don't do any of these things, this will not be able to come. If you don't select this one, you will not be able to work with any of the applications with respect to your HANA and BODS integration basically. That's why this step is very much critical for us for the purpose of starting working with respect to your HANA database here. So what is the password here? The password is
Is it the user ID, the user password, right? Or is
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah. This is for the purpose of logging into your repository basically. So this is what is your designer welcome screen right now here. So these are all the steps what you have done so far. Please give me 2 minutes time, I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. So let us see the steps that you have done so far, so that you need to understand. First step what you have done is that we created a blank database. Please prompt. database. This is clear, right? We created a blank database.
Yes.
What is the second step that we did? We created a local repository.
Okay.
The purpose of this local repository is being done with the help of this repository manager. Repository manager. This is the second step that we do. Okay. The third step that we did is that we associated a job server with the repository. Okay, how it is been done here? This is done with the help of your server manager. This is done with the help of your server manager. This is also done. And what is the next step that we did? We
Management console.
the CMC, that is the Central Management Console we did, and we registered this repository, registered with data services client.
And restarted.
Client or descendant. These are the steps that you have done. Now, what is your CMC? The CMC is nothing but your business objects component, not BODS. BODS. And what is your blank database? This blank database is nothing but your MS SQL, Microsoft SQL Server. The local repository is created. And how is the local repository is being created here? The local repository is created with the help of this BODS, and this server manager is also a component of your BODS basically by default. These are all the components that you have worked so far, right? Does it make sense with you how we have worked on all with these particular things here?
Yes.
Yes, Ravi.
So that's why in our daily life of SAP HANA, okay, what we do is that we need to work with almost all the components of your SAP family. We work with ECC, we work with the BI, we work with BODS, we work with the business objects, and we also work with the HANA Studio. So that's why we cannot live without the other basically. And another thing is that the activities what you have done here today is going to be the base for all your other activities that are expected to happen here today. Okay. Now, keeping this one in view, let us see two things here. Guys, all of you are in the Skype, or anybody is not in Skype right now at this point of time?
No,
Have you
I did
added
not
me in
connect Skype.
Can you please connect to Skype once?
I need to install the Skype in my machine. I
Oh
don't
my
have
God.
it.
Okay, fine.
Mine, I cannot install Skype on my machine, but I use the Skype address from my iPhone. Then I log on manually to NetWeaver. So means NetWeaver.
You are not thinking that you are making your life very much complicated, guys, without having Skype and without having this.
No.
Some reason this is my office laptop that don't allow Skype to run on their machine. So
Okay,
because
fine,
of
not a problem.
security reason.
I am
Okay,
in
okay.
Skype.
I never think without Skype is a complicated life, Ravi.
That is true, Bhaskar, but one thing is that, the moment once you chat, communicate with the other people with the help of this, without the help of this GoToMeeting, repetition tarvata, then only it will be easier basically. Okay.
Anyway, I have my user ID, but I did not connect it here because this is the office laptop I'm using.
Okay. It is Bhaskar, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking you to do that one, I want to share you the couple of Text.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Ravi, I am connected. If you want, you can send me.
Sure. Sorry. See here. These are all your sources what you are having here. These are all your sources. These are all the place where your transactional data exists. And please confirm me, you are all from your BA background, right? Vijay?
Yes.
Possibly you are from, yeah.
Yeah.
Anand is also from BA, right? Anand.
Yes, yes.
And Ella is also from BA. Okay.
Yeah, I have learned.
So these are all your legacy systems where your original transactional data exists, right? Transactional data in the form of master data and transactional data exists in this particular form. The ultimate aim of using your business intelligence or data warehouse is to bring all this particular data into this common platform, which is nothing but your SAP or non-SAP, whatever it is. Okay, but for our entire product, this target environment is going to be your SAP HANA, right? The target database is going to be your SAP HANA. What we need to do? Okay. For that particular purpose, we need to use an ETL process in place. Okay, there are so many ETL tools that are available in the market. One is Informatica, DataStage, Ab Initio, SQL Server Integration Services, ODI, Oracle Data Integrator. Then you have something like Pentaho. Like that, there are so many tools, DataStage and all. Okay, but the one and only platform, but the one and only ETL tool. Okay, that is. One and only ETL tool, okay, that is available in the industry in order to load the data into SAP HANA is nothing but your business objects data services. Okay, for this particular purpose, what we generally do is we start using our ETL tool. What is the tool here? The ETL tool is nothing but your SAP business objects data services platform. So what it does basically, it starts extracting the data. Okay. While it starts extracting the data, it needs to bring the data into the staging layer. It needs to bring the data into the staging layer. Okay. Once it brings the data into the staging layer, your data is not at all consistent with each other. With respect to your data types, coding conventions, the level of granularity of data, the meanings of the data is not consistent. So we need to address that particular data consistency and data quality issues. Okay. The way we can try to address these things is with the help of your transforming and cleansing. Okay, cleansing is called as scrubbing the data, or else what we do is that we try to massage that particular data. So in order to cleanse that particular data, we do use your ETL tool that address that particular data quality. Once we do this particular data quality, then what we need to do is that we need to transform the data. Okay, for the why you should be transform the data is the structures of your OLTP is totally normalized in nature, whereas the structures of your OLAP is totally denormalized in nature. And we need to have the surrogate keys and all the other things that will be coming into the picture. So that is the reason what we need to do that we need to start transforming that particular data. Once your data is transformed, we need to validate and then load the data either directly into the SAP platform or else with the help of your IDOCs or flat files, we need to start loading the data. So this is basically what your business objects data services does. Okay. In one sense, it is basically used as a data migration tool, which is basically used to do your ETL process in order to bring the data from the sources into this particular targets database. Either your SAP target database might be your SAP BI system, or else it might be your what is the next one? SAP HANA system also you can use for the purpose of loading that particular data. This is what is the ETL tool that we are going to work with, and we are going to see the ETL terminology of your BODs in particular basically right now. Is this clear to you? Bhaskar, is it clear to you now, this one?
Yeah, yes, Ravi.
How about the other people? Ella and
It's clear.
this is the thing what we need to do. Okay, so based on this one, what we need to do is that let us start seeing the architecture of your technology of your SAP HANA here right now. Okay. First thing is we need to talk about see the ETL procedures what you develop in BODS are called as jobs. Okay, these particular jobs are classified into two types. Okay, first types of jobs are called as the batch jobs, and second type of jobs are called as the real-time jobs. Two types of jobs, one are nothing but the batch job, and second type of job is nothing but the real-time jobs you need to do. So let me tell you what is the purpose of a batch job and what is the purpose of the real-time job. The batch job is supposed to extract the data from the sources and load the data into the targets, okay, basically in a predefined interval, and in that particular predefined interval it will do it only once. Suppose if you have a customer master that is existing, okay, and then you want to load the data into the customer dimension, in a particular business day we do it only once, and then that will be done within a particular scheduling period, right? So such types of jobs are called as the batch jobs. But real-time jobs are something that will get the feeds from the source systems on a continuous basis, and then in a particular scheduling time, this particular jobs will be executed multiple times, loading the data into the target tables and then constant basis basically. Such type of jobs are called as the real-time jobs. Okay, we have the jobs. These particular jobs are nothing but your batch jobs and the real-time jobs. The batch jobs works within a particular scheduling window only once, and in the real-time jobs, even though it works in a scheduling window, it will be executed more than once basically in this case. There is the main difference between your batch jobs and the real-time jobs. Okay, now business objects data services works on the concept of your client server environment, client and then the server. Clear? The client is the place where we try to develop your ETL applications. These things are nothing but the jobs. Okay. The server is the place where we start executing your ETL applications. The server is the place where we start executing your ETL applications for transferring the data from source to target. Transferring data from source to target, this is the thing that we need to do. Server is the place where we execute your ETL applications for transferring the data from the sources to the targets. These are all called as the ETL jobs that we develop here in this particular case. Okay, now for the purpose of developing an ETL job, or else for the purpose of developing an ETL procedure, what is required? Can you please tell me, any one of you? For the purpose of developing the ETL jobs, what are required basically?
You need a data services, BODS. You have to create the job, multiple jobs or data flows, and then execute them in the batch job, or schedule the job to run. Basically, you have to create the data flows and in the BO data services.
First thing what we need to have is that for the purpose of developing a particular job, you need to have the source structure, right? Source table structure is required. Source table. Source table structure is required, and along with this one, you also need to have the target table structure is also required. Target table structure. And in between them, See, in many of the cases, the source structure and your target structure may not be same. It might be different. Your source structure and your target structure may not be same. It might be different. So in between, you need a couple of stages. You use a couple of stages, or else we use a couple of transforms. Okay, for the purpose of converting your source structure into the target structure. A couple of transforms for converting your source structure into the target structure that we do. Okay, so this is what is your ETL job, what we develop here. But one thing is that before developing this particular source structure and the target structure and this particular job, we need to make sure the structure of your source tables and the structure of your target tables need to be existing within your repository. Okay, why? Because if you don't have the structure of your source tables and the structure of the target tables imported into the repository, you will not be able to develop this particular job. We need to import table structures from source and target into this particular repository. Okay, for doing this one, what we are going to have is that business objects data services is having one type of platform, and that particular platform is called as a data store platform. This is the thing that we are going to use, data store. We are going to use a type of platform called as a data store that we are going to use here. Data store. So before concluding the class today, let me show you what exactly this thing is going to happen here. So this is what is your repository. This is what is your data services designer. This data services designer is the place where we try to develop all these particular jobs. Within that one, you're going to have a particular content. What is that content? Is that content is nothing but the local object library you're going to have. Okay, within the local object library, you're going to have the projects. Then you're going to have the jobs. You're going to have the workflows. A new concept. You're going to have the data flows, and we are going to have the transforms. That is, we use a different type of stages that we use in order to convert your source data to the target data, and these are called as the transforms. And apart from that one, you're having something called as the data stores, which is important here. This is a data store that I need to create for the source database as well as the target database. And this particular thing here. Okay, so what I mean to say is that I need to have the structure of your source tables along with the structure of the target tables that should be imported into this local object library. Okay, from your source databases and the target databases. That is the thing that we need to do. Okay, that thing we'll start doing from tomorrow onwards. So because I need to do a lot of configuration steps before we start working on this particular platform here. Okay, so can anybody tell me why I started business objects data services today? Can
So
anyone
the
of you?
ETL replication into the database.
Yeah, why? Because
But data provisioning isn't the
data provisioning need to happen. The data provisioning need to happen only with the help of this particular SAP BODS only. So that's why if you want to do any type of business activities with respect to SAP HANA, the first thing what you need to have is nothing but your business objects data services that should be used for the purpose of loading the data into this SAP HANA. That is the reason we started working with this data services here. Are you comfortable, Vijay? Bhaskar?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes.
Anand?
yes, yes.
Okay. So what we do is that we please make sure that we are working on these particular exercises, okay, till we are comfortable, and then we start working with the next concepts from tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see is that how are we going to import the table structures, and how are you going to work with your SAP and non-SAP platforms in order to replicate the data into this SAP HANA. That particular part we'll start seeing from tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
We have not received any user IDs or server access details yet. So
That
is that going to be mailed today?
we need to get in touch with these people, the big classes people. You need to get in touch, and then those people will be able to provide you the details. Bhaskar.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Sure, and we have more things to discuss, and we'll be discussing them very soon. Okay?
Ravi, I sent my
Do
screen.
everybody else have the access?
Nobody is
Yeah.
having the access. Only myself is having the access at this point of time.
Oh.
Okay? So any information about that that lady Sarika, she didn't come today, Bhaskar?
I think she's looking on weekend class. She said she cannot come on weekdays. It won't be possible for her.
Okay, fine. So this is right today? You're comfortable, right, Bhaskar?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay. We'll meet tomorrow and then start working on this particular proceedings to make sure that, we go ahead in this particular business objects and then try to have some data in HANA to work on here basically. Okay? And we'll meet tomorrow.
Actually, I'll be traveling, so I may not be able to make it to the class. But if you can provide the recorded session so I can follow up the prior.
Sure, I'll do that one, not a problem. Okay?
Yeah, me too also, Ravi. Maybe tomorrow I'm traveling back to my place. So.
So for your Thursday night you will not be available, you mean to say, right?
I don't know yet because it starts 8:30. Maybe if I can reach, then I will start.
So please let me know in advance so that I can plan my other activities basically. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks guys. Thank you so much and wish you a good night.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.